We always hear that teaching is this incredibly noble calling, but what happens when that passion just doesn't pay the bills? Well, today we're going to dive into the key ideas from Rich Teacher, Poor Teacher, a book that really challenges how educators think about their jobs and, more importantly, their bank accounts. So, the author, Dr. Adedamola Israel Olofa, kicks things off with a question that's, pretty blunt. It gets right to the point. Why are so many teachers poor? We're not talking about just making ends meet, but about genuinely struggling. And this one question, it really sets the stage for everything that follows. And that question? Well, it brings us right to what the book calls the teacher's dilemma. It's that classic, painful conflict where you have a deep passion for shaping young minds, but that passion doesn't seem to translate into a healthy financial life. And this isn't just some abstract idea. The author gets personal here. He paints this picture of a moment of just pure desperation. Rent was coming up, his daughter desperately needed new shoes, the bills were stacking up. And it all boiled down to this one soul-searching question he asked himself. Is this really all there is to teaching? And his answer? It's the central idea of the entire book, and it's so powerful. Poverty is not a requirement for being a good teacher. I mean, it sounds simple, right? But it's actually a pretty revolutionary thought that goes against a belief that's buried deep in the culture of education. Okay, so if being poor isn't part of the job description, then what is holding so many educators back? The book argues that the real difference isn't the number on your paycheck. It's all about your mindset. He actually has a name for this. He calls it poverty programming, and he defines it as this sort of invisible cultural script that quietly teaches educators that, you're supposed to struggle, that somehow suffering proves how passionate you are. It's this crazy idea that if you ask for more money, it means you must care less about the kids. And you can really see how these two mindsets play out here. A poor teacher might think, well, this is as good as it gets. But a rich teacher, they see their current job as a launch pad. When it comes to money, one person feels totally underpaid and stuck, while the other is actively looking for ways to create more value. It's the huge difference between saying, oh, I'm just a teacher, and saying, I am an educator, I'm a leader, I'm a brand. All right, so how do you actually make that shift? The book says it all starts by completely reframing how you see yourself. You have to stop thinking like an employee who just clocks in and out and start thinking of your career as your own personal enterprise. This whole enterprise mindset really boils down to 3 core beliefs you have to adopt. Number 1, I have expertise that people would absolutely pay for. Number 2, I solve a very specific problem in the world. And number 3, I can take what I know, package it up, and sell it. Once you've got that enterprise mindset locked in, the next piece of the puzzle is building multiple streams of income. This is where you start to see your salary not as the absolute limit, the ceiling on what you can earn, but as the seed you can use to grow something bigger. So, what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's get practical. Say your specialty is early childhood literacy. You could take all that incredible knowledge and package it into a phonics course or an ebook specifically for parents. Boom, you're reaching a whole new audience. Okay, another one. Let's say you're a science teacher. You're all about STEM. Well, you could monetize that expertise by running awesome weekend science boot camps for kids, or maybe even create virtual labs that other schools or homeschooling parents could buy. And here's a super common one, exam coaching. But instead of just tutoring by the hour, think bigger. You could package and sell solution guides for past exams. That's your product. And then you can offer premium one-on-one coaching as an upsell. See? You're creating a product and a service. And look, this isn't just some abstract idea. There are actual tools out there to make this happen. Websites like Teachers Pay Teachers, Seller, Udemy, and Teachable, they were literally built for educators to sell their knowledge and resources to people all over the world. What's great is that the book doesn't just throw these big ideas at you and walk away. Nope. It actually gives you a roadmap. It wraps up with a 30-day action plan to help you take that very first step on this brand new path. It's all broken down week by week. Week 1, that's all about that mindset reset. Week 2 is where you start making tangible money moves. In week 3, you channel that enterprise energy into building your very first product or service. And week 4 is all about building momentum, so this thing actually lasts. So we're going to leave you with the one question that really sums up this whole philosophy. It's a thought for you to take with you. What if your salary really was just the beginning? What if it was the seed that you could use to grow something so much bigger?